You're listening to the Blue 82 Podcast, hosted by Craig and Nicholas. Please like and subscribe so we know that you like what we're doing. And now, let's talk football. Blue 82!
Welcome back, everyone, to the Blue 82 Podcast. I'm here with my co-host Nicholas, and this is going to be episode 16. And we had
down the stairs. I made it.
Nice. It's going to be episode 16, and we had another exciting week of football. Week 12. We're getting to. I know it's still kind of the middle, but I'm starting to see like the light at the end of the tunnel, and I'm kind of getting a little upset. You know what I mean? Like, each week we're getting less and less football season. To where
that is true.
You know what I mean? The off season's coming. I know it's super early to even mention that word, but I was looking at the schedule the other day and I was like, shit, dude. Like, some of these teams' records are 10-1 and they got played 11 games. Like, there's only like 6 or 7 weeks left of regular season, so a little upsetting. But hopefully it slows down a bit. Enjoy it, and then once we get to the off season, hopefully that shit's fucking quick as hell. But before we get into too much, we're back on your regular scheduled program. A little late today, but we're chilling. From now on, everything should be good. But again, we appreciate y'all. Sorry last week for the delayed episode. Things just didn't match up like we mentioned, but we're back. We appreciate y'all watching the videos, liking the videos, subscribing. Let's keep this thing rolling. We're enjoying this shit for sure. Let's see. Nick, what do you got?
Apologies to everyone for delaying the episode. It was my fault. Was out of town. And now I'm back. I literally had to set up a PS5, a monitor. Shout out Janine. Bought me the PS5. I bought the monitor. And took me like 20 minutes probably setting it all up. And then, yeah, I just got back.
Nice.
Like 2 hours ago.
I just want to say real quick, Nick, I know because you got him, Jonathan Taylor just scored a rushing touchdown, so that's good for you.
Thank God. I might actually still win this league.
And Najee Harris is out too. Doesn't the guy you're playing have Najee?
Yeah, he has Najee and Freiermuth.
Yeah, and
I got
Najee,
Jonathan Taylor.
Yeah, and Najee's out for the rest of the game.
That's what I'm saying.
So.
It's doable. It's still doable.
Are you winning at this point?
What was it? It was like 103 to like 96. At this point, it is now loading. 117 to 111.
Oh, so you need Freiermuth to just be quiet.
Najee got a touchdown. So if he didn't get the touchdown, I'd probably be winning.
Yeah.
You got a touchdown before he went out.
You're losing?
Yeah, I'm losing 117 to
111. Yeah, I don't know. That's going to be tough. You need JT to go off.
Still doable.
Still doable.
He needs another touchdown. If he gets another touchdown, we're chilling. Yeah.
Yeah, it's becoming a tight playoff race in our little fantasy league. I just beat this week the quote-unquote, like, number one guy, the guy that has been getting very lucky. And his team's pretty good, but Nick beat him last week. I beat him this week. He's on the decline. He's getting fucking smart now. But it's going to be a tight race. I think it's going to work out to where it's going to be, hopefully, it's going to be me, Nick, Nathan, which is the top guy that we both beat, and then Nathan's girl, Janine. Hopefully we all make it into the playoffs, and it says 4. That's what it's looking like right now, but it's gonna be close.
It's gonna be close because the last spot is a battle between the two random people and then Janine.
Yeah.
Because they're both 7-4. One's gonna be 7. If this guy beats me, it's gonna be 8-4.
Yeah.
Which is not gonna help her, and then the other guy I think is lose. The other guy lost already. So it's gonna be close, super close. I don't know.
For sure.
Battle for 4th place with 3 people. That's kind of insane.
I think
Good luck.
Yeah. It's gonna be tough.
Good fucking luck.
But so I guess we're gonna go ahead and dive into the injury news and recaps and things like that. Or injuries and news. Sorry.
Aaron Rodgers is done retiring.
Yeah. He might be. Jordan Love didn't look too terrible.
I mean, he's
What?
got fucking broken like ribs now.
Yeah.
Good luck playing for that shit.
He said he was worried about potentially puncturing one of his lungs last night, but I think they did X-rays today and said he didn't. I did see something on it saying that he said that if he gets cleared, he's playing. So I don't know if they clear
He
him.
knows his job's on the line.
Yeah, pretty much. At this point, if I'm him though, like if I have any thought in my head,
I already
that
know
I'm
right now.
playing next year,
Once they get eliminated, he's not playing.
that's what I'm.
They're gonna want to play Jordan Love. So
Yeah,
like,
no, 100%.
and it's only a matter of time before they get eliminated.
Yeah. No, I agree. Yeah, so another piece of injury news was Elijah Mitchell, running back for the 49ers. I think sprained his MCL and is out like 6 to 8 weeks, which if you remember, he literally just got back from a knee injury. I don't know if it's the same knee, but that sucks. Another weapon the 49ers lose. It seems like the 49ers, dude, are always losing running backs. Like, they literally deal with losing running backs all the fucking time.
I think even CMC's banged up too.
That dude's always banged up at this point.
I mean, yeah, but that's what I'm
yeah.
saying. Like, their running back room's a little bit down.
We'll see what happens with that. I think. Another big piece of news is Travis Etienne literally left like in the first quarter of the game with a foot injury. We didn't really know how serious it was, but after the game, he said he was already going to be fine to play next week. Doug Peterson came out and said that he was able to come back during that game, but they just decided to not risk it and leave him out. So he could have played in that game, but he didn't. So that's a good sign for them.
That's interesting.
Yeah. Which I don't get, just because, I mean, you would typically think in that situation, right? You're 3-7. This is literally like your last push for the playoffs. You're playing the Ravens. You would think you would want every weapon out there possible, but I don't know.
That is true. Then again, though, do you really think they're going to be a team that goes far in the playoffs? Maybe
No.
That's their mindset, too.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
100%. And I think also, too, BNC
Maybe they're
missed,
just playing for the future. You know what I mean?
and I think BNC missed last year, the whole year, with the foot injury.
Yeah.
I think they didn't want to take any chances of him maybe revisiting that injury and things like that. So
Because that's the issue too now. Is like if you get a season-ending injury, like you're now at risk of not even playing next year. Like at least at the start.
Oh yeah.
Because
if it happens this late
if you
in the
have like
season,
like if you have a major injury, like your whole beginning of your next month of the next year is gonna be chalked.
We say that though, but James Robinson tore his Achilles literally like week 15 and was back at the beginning of the year playing. So it's like, I don't know how that happened.
It's the same thing with Adrian Peterson. Adrian Peterson did the same thing. Remember that one year?
Yeah. So
he came back and he just...
It all depends on the situation, but yeah, no, 100%. You do anything like major at the end of the year, you have that chance of it happening, you know what I mean?
It just depends, like, again, like, some freaks out there, but...
Yeah. Another piece of news, it looks like Jamar Chase is expected back this week. I know, like, Friday and Saturday they flirted around with him potentially playing against the Titans, but they ended up ruling him out. Early this week they're already saying it looks like he's going to probably play and expecting to play. So that's good for them. They play the Chiefs this week, so that's going to be a good game. Everyone. Yeah,
all hands on deck.
The Ravens running back J.K. Dobbins will return to practice this week, opening his 21-day window from IR. He's returning from a knee surgery to remove scar tissue from a previous surgery, which he also literally like tore his whole knee last year in preseason. So he was coming back from that, played like a week or two, and then re-injured the same knee, I think. Another running back, Joe Mixon, missed last week due to a concussion, is trending towards the direction of being able to play Sunday against the Chiefs, which... Same thing, you're going to need all hands on deck against them. Josh Allen's a full participant in practice today despite his right elbow injury. We talked about the Packers, Aaron Rodgers. Let's see. So we mentioned Melvin Gordon got released last week. He's expected to sign with the Chiefs practice squad, which I think they lost CEH. So he's going to be... He might make the roster. I don't know. But it looks like, as of right now, he's on the practice squad. It looks like Dolphins head coach Mike McDaniel says he's confident Left tackle Teron Armstead will play again this season. No return timeline, but McDaniel said he wouldn't rule out a return within the few weeks, which he injured his pectoral muscle, I guess, this previous week. So
Yeah, they were worried that it was torn, which again would be devastating, but
right.
sounds like it's now just strained, so hopefully it's all good.
Have him back by the
Maybe
playoffs.
this is a week or two, but it's going to be tough because our O-line's ass as fuck.
I think what's playing in y'all's favor in that situation is the fact that the way they're designing that offense, too, is just getting the ball out so quick most of the time. Like, yeah, there's times he holds the ball a little bit to let the play develop, but it seems like a lot of those plays are pretty quick throws.
I mean, yeah, we're going to need quick throws when our fucking left tackles, though. It's devastating as fuck, but next man up, you got to do what you got to do.
Yeah, another injury was Allen Robinson is out for the season. I want to say it was an ankle. I don't have the tweet pulled up, but I want to say it was an ankle, but they said he's out for the season. So Rams are missing their 2 top wide receivers. They're chalked.
And their quarterback.
And it looks like...
Sounds like he might be done for the year, too.
It may be, at this point.
Stafford, they said.
He was dealing with a concussion, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And then also, defensive tackle Aaron Donald is being evaluated for a high ankle sprain. So, another piece for the Rams. Unfortunate. Let's see. We talked about the Elijah Mitchell missing 6 to 8 weeks.
Craig is 114 and 117.
Uh-oh.
Getting there.
I like it. Patriots running back Damian Harris, who's dealing with a thigh injury, is not expected to play Thursday. He's considered week to week going forward. So it looks like he's going to miss some time as well. It looks like also the game currently going on, the Steelers and the Colts, running back Najee Harris is headed to the locker room. They officially ruled him out for an abdominal pain, or it just says abdominal. I don't know if that's ribs, what it is, but I'm sure we'll find out more about that tomorrow, but something to keep an eye on.
That's not good.
Yeah, it's not. I think that's all I got. Yeah.
I'm trying to think, but I don't remember anything else.
Yeah. All right. So that's going to wrap up news and injuries and things like that. I guess we'll go ahead and break down into Week 12 recap. We had the 3 Thursday night games on Thanksgiving. Honestly, bro, like, it was 3 good games in my opinion. Like, you could maybe make the case that the Cowboys and the Giants game wasn't the greatest, but I still think it ended up being a pretty decent game. Started off, we had the Bills at the Lions. Dude, the Lions, man. Playing like the Lions. I really wanted them to win this game. Like, oh, that would have been so cool. On Thanksgiving, like, the Bills struggled a bit. Just like we talked about kind of in their mid-season slump that they kind of have where they're not playing the greatest. Allen's done with the injury. I get it. The Lions just get you excited. I feel like every time I see some highlights from them, I'm just excited.
Yeah, it was a good game, but I don't know. I was telling my dad earlier, like, the Bills just don't look like the Bills. You know what I mean? Like, this is a team that everyone was like hyping up, like Super Bowl contender, undefeated season, like best offense, best defense, and like right now they are struggling.
Severely underperforming.
Like struggling.
Yeah.
Like back-to-back weeks, they just don't look great.
Yeah, and I don't want to discredit like the Lions. They're fucking playing their hearts out and playing good, but the Bills definitely don't look like how we expected them to this season. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, I thought, like, I'm pretty sure everyone thought they were just going to be putting up, like, 30 points.
Oh, yeah.
Giving up, like, 15 maybe at most. Like, just dominating people, but it's like they don't look like the Bills of the old, like, like, they were winning games at the beginning of the year, like, winning games at the beginning of the year, like, easy as hell, and now it's like, every game it seems like they're just fighting for their life, pretty much.
And I mean, they're literally one, like, super long pass away from going into overtime against the Lions. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, they got that, what was it, 20, 30, 40 yard shot to Diggs on the last play. and then kicked the field goal. So it's like
That's what I'm saying.
if
Like
that's an incompletion. Like to me, that's all luck. That's not even playing well. Like you got lucky, you threw a ball up, Diggs caught it. Like you found the soft
I
spot.
mean, there was even that I can't remember what this was. Wasn't there that one play where they went for it on like wasn't the Lions went for it on fourth down and they threw it like a deep ball and he had him open and he underthrew it?
Had him
Wasn't that
wide
the last,
open.
like,
Yeah.
that was like the last play of the game almost, wasn't it?
Yeah. So if
Something
they
like that?
complete that, they score a touchdown. Lions
That's
are
what I'm
winning. Yeah. Or not only that, even if they don't run that play and get the first down, then you lose a little bit of time and then you go OT. Like, I mean, yeah.
Because I remember there's that one play that he had him literally wide open.
Wide
and
open.
He missed the throw.
Yeah, missed the throw. Yeah. No, that was tough to see. I don't know if that was miscommunication, just one of those where you don't expect him to be that wide open and you underthrow it, whatever. But yeah, no, he definitely missed that throw. So, I mean, yeah, again, the Bills are one or two plays away from losing this game, and in my opinion, almost got lucky at, like, I know luck. I hate to say luck when it comes to football, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Moving on to the Giants at the Cowboys. We picked the Giants in this game. I'm trying to think back on this game. It was a good game, but wasn't it like a 2-score game and then the Giants scored at the last second, and that's why it's 20.
The Giants are just they're struggling right now. Like, they're trying to feed Saquon, which is pretty much their offense at this point. It's like it's not there right now. Teams are shutting it down.
Yeah.
And you shut down Saquon or shutting down the.
They're just
Giants
lacking
pretty much
weapons,
at this
man.
point.
Like Daniel Jones isn't playing terrible.
That's what I'm saying.
They're
Like,
just lacking weapons.
They have like it seems like they have good coaching and like they're not a bad team, like a completely bad team. Like they're an average team, but like we already knew. Kind of felt like they were overperforming because of coaching, but now it's like it seems like when you're playing these teams and these games, like teams are starting to scheme on you now that like you're basically just running your offense for Saquon. Like you get rid of him, and then can Daniel Jones beat you with these mediocre type of weapons? And as of right now, they haven't been able to answer over the last 2 weeks.
Yeah, and I think that's what, in my opinion, that's what you get.
But again, I just want to say it's no like shot on Danny or
no, not at all,
or Dable or anyone like that. It's just you gotta play with the hand you're dealt, and like at the end of the day, they're just not built that good.
Yeah, and I think too, like they're exceeding expectations at this point, which is a good sign. So it's like you take that with a grain of salt and you move on. Whether I'm sure they still might make the playoffs. I'm not saying they won't, but if for some reason you don't make the playoffs, you take that and you realize, all right, we exceeded our expectations. We're missing a couple things. You add in the off season, and who knows, you're a playoff caliber team coming soon. You know what I mean? Like. Couple more moves in the offseason, I think this team could be pretty solid.
Yeah, I think they've got to get some other weapons. Like you need some wide receivers for sure. Maybe up that defense a little bit more.
Oh yeah.
I like where they're at.
Cowboys played a good game. I think did Dak throw a couple picks again? I'm trying to think.
Yeah, he had 2 picks, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, so.
This was a Zeke game. He fucking ran for almost 100 yards. I think it was like 92, 95, something like that.
I've never been the biggest fan of Dak, man, and I just don't think I think he's a serviceable quarterback, but I don't know, man. I just don't think he's gonna put you over the top. You know
he's
what I
mean? I would say he's like a top. All right, I just want to say something real quick because this is actually like a super bad call right now.
Okay.
So it was 4th and 2. The Colts were driving. They decided to settle for the field goal. 16-10, right?
Yeah.
Kick the field goal, get it. Penalty on the fucking Steelers defense for what encroachment would probably be, right?
Yeah.
So automatic first down, and now it's 1st and goal for the Colts.
Oh no.
It was like a 4th and 2, and he gave him the fucking 5 yards. Like that is not good.
You hate to see that.
JT touchdown here. Let's go. Give it to me.
That would be massive. What were we saying about Dak?
But yeah, to me, he's like a top like 15 to 20 quarterback. You know what I mean? Like he's good enough, but he's not. I would never put him in my top 10. You know what I mean?
I don't
like
think so either.
I don't know. I've always kind of like. I don't know. I was never really like been a fan of him or like a believer in him. Like. You know what I mean?
No,
I don't know. He just seems average to me.
I agree. Next we had a shocker to Nick. not to me. Probably not a shocker to Nick. I know how he feels about the Vikings, but I knew the Vikings were going to win this game. I picked them to win this game. Nick's a fake fan. That's like the second time now he's picked against the Vikings. And
Primetime Kirk Cousins, I don't trust.
Hey, I don't either, but Primetime Kirk Cousins showed up, baby. Primetime Thanksgiving Kirk Cousins showed up. You know what I mean? And then his coach even called him out in the locker room. He was like, "Hey, y'all know what time it is outside?" He's like, "It's I think this is a primetime game." It was hilarious. But I mean, Vikings offense just it's thriving at this point. Jefferson, I think, had 9 catches, 139 yards, and a tutty. I know I predicted him to have this miraculous day. He had a great day, but not to what I was predicting. I would have liked to get him one more touchdown. The dude was balling all day, but nah, it's fun to watch him play and Kirk and all them play. I mean, they're playing great. I will say the one thing about this game, and I'm not necessarily switching up my tone, right? I hate to be that back and forth all the time thing. I've been a big hater of Mac Jones, right? Haven't shied away from it. I've said it before. He had a really good game, right? Like, I was very surprised watching that, and it was like, because I don't watch many Patriots games, right? And I know that's bad to not watch many games and have this opinion on this guy, but it is what it is, right? But watching this game, like, Mac Jones was throwing some nice balls, making some plays. Like, it almost seems like he can maybe, like, I still don't think he's a great quarterback. I think he was overhyped last year. I don't think he should have even won, because he won, like, what did he won some award, right? Didn't he? Or there was talks of him winning Offensive Rookie of the Year.
He went to the Pro Bowl. He went to the Pro Bowl. Okay, yeah. I know there was talks for a while of him, like, winning Offensive Rookie of the Year, and then Jamar popped off, but all right, Craig, I'm about to fucking lose it.
What happened? They gave it to the backup running back?
Third down, right?
Yeah.
He passes it. Matt Ryan passes it to the what should have probably been catch for a touchdown. Ends up being a pass interference. Perfect. First and goal, right on the 1 yard line. Hands it to Jonathan Taylor. They fuck up, miscommunication or something. Falls fucking fumbled out. Matt Ryan tries to get on top of it. It's a fucking Steelers recovery. Like, are you kidding me?
God.
And then looking at the replay too, it looks like he would have truck stick someone and would have probably scored.
On the bright side, Jonathan Taylor didn't get -2 for the fumble.
Is that not his fumble?
No, they're right now. It looks like on the scoring they're calling it Matt Ryan
Jesus
fumble.
Christ.
I
don't know what the fuck that was.
That's unfortunate for you though. That would have literally put you in the lead, and
Fuck, man.
you would have had a good chance. I mean, it's still early. Dude gets a couple catches, you're back in the lead. But yeah, I mean, back to Mac Jones. Like, he played good. We'll see if he can build on that performance, but it was a good performance out of him. I will say that. I'll give him his credit.
Also say too, he's in a weird situation, almost like the 201, where he's had to be a backup with the Bailey Zappi.
Yeah.
What is his name? Zappi, whatever.
Zappy. That never helps the situation.
That's what I'm saying. It's a weird situation, but the thing I will say too though about this game is that kind of scares me that he had a good game, because the Vikings defense kind of didn't play very good.
They haven't played very good a lot.
That's what I'm
this
saying.
year.
It's a little bit worrying.
We
get to the playoff times.
Oh yeah, we expected that, because they added a couple pieces on the defense. We expected their defense to kind of be a step up from what it was last year, and it wasn't the greatest last year either. And yeah, no, I agree. It's definitely going to be worrisome if Mac Jones and the no weapons having Patriots are putting up 26 points against you. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it definitely gets a little worrying when you're going to play these these good teams come to the playoffs, like the 49ers and shit. Like,
yeah,
you're gonna need to find ways to stop some offenses here.
100%. And I mean, every team's got holes, but if you're looking at yourself and you're like, we're a 9-2 team, the defense ain't looking like a 9-2 team. You know what I mean? So you better hope that you can keep putting up 30, 35 points a game.
I mean, that's what they're gonna have to do.
Yeah, no, 100%. Moving on next, we got the Broncos at the Panthers.
Why the fuck did we both take the Broncos?
I don't because Sam Darnold. We didn't trust Sam Darnold.
Christ.
Yeah,
I know, but like at this point, why am I even betting on fucking Russ?
Never again, bro. Oh my god, this is just ridiculous.
Jesus.
This is just an ugly game.
I don't even want to talk about it. Like,
yeah,
this is one of the is two shit teams. 10-23. The fucking Panthers won.
We know what each
I don't
team
know
is
what
at
to
this
tell you.
point. You know
That's
what I
what
mean?
I'm saying. Like Broncos suck.
Last night, Nick, I saw the video about the toilets. It was an updated one for this week. They're up
Oh,
to
yeah, he
8
threw one touchdown,
touchdowns.
didn't he?
Yeah, 8
He threw
touchdowns,
one
12
touchdown.
toilets. Yeah. So
Like,
the guy was like, the toilets are getting a little nervous, but they see themselves winning it at this point. And then he was like, and Sierra looks like she didn't want to add any bathrooms this week, so they're staying the same.
it's such a trolly thing, but
I
it makes
can't
me
believe
laugh when I see it.
why he came up with that, but it's fucking amazing.
I think the best part is he probably thought like, okay, this is gonna be a running gag for like 2 weeks at most, and then like that's it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like 2-3 weeks, and
Yeah.
here we are, what, week 12 now, and it's still.
Four,
Right now it's week 13 going in now.
4 away from
Like-
even tying it. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Like Jesus Christ.
Yeah. There's quarterbacks in the league throwing 40 passing touchdowns a year. This guy's on pace to throw fucking 15, 12, if that. Like, it's terrible. Moving on to the Bucks and the Browns. The Bucks started this game out looking like the Bucks against the Seahawks. They looked like they finally, like I said, started to figure some things out. They're on the right path, getting back to where they want to get back to. And then, like, the second, third drive, they just look like shit again. Like, they didn't hardly score again in the second half. Like, I feel like they didn't run the ball enough, first off. The Browns are letting teams run all over them this year, and they didn't run the ball enough, in my opinion. Let me look real quick. I don't remember. I think Rachaad White still had a good day. Don't get me wrong. But he ran the ball 14 times. Like, that's solid. But I feel like the way the Browns are kind of letting people run on them, I would have maybe tried to see it run 20 times. But the Browns, Jacoby Brissett, his last game as a Brown, led a game-winning touchdown drive.
As a starter, yeah.
Well, as a starter, yeah, not as Brown.
You never know if he goes back in, but yeah.
No, 100%. But let him down to the game-winning drive. Nick Chubb scored the touchdown in the end. We've talked about this all year.
I'm going to say this real quick. That was in overtime. I fucking loved that. I was like, I need that for fantasy.
Oh, dude.
They gave him that. I was like, okay, they're probably going to kick a field goal. I'm like, whatever. Like, that sucks, but it is what it is. And he handed it to Nick Chubb, and I was like, let's fucking go.
Bro, I have Nick Chubb in our league. Because you have him in the Yahoo one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I have him in our league, and he had like 10 points going into overtime, and then they got the touchdown, and I was like, oh, thank fucking God, dude. Because at that point, it was starting to look like I might possibly lose, but then my team, they all kind of got touchdowns at the same time, so I ended up taking a lead on them, but yeah, no, I needed that touchdown bad, too. Jacoby got a pretty good not warm welcome, but like a good send-off by the crowd whenever he left the stadium. It was cool to see. Like I said, he's played well enough. You know what I mean? Their defense has kind of been throwing this season for him, in my opinion. But he's played good enough.
I mean, he had some drops, too, because I remember it was on Red Zone. He threw the one, and Amari Cooper was, like, wide open.
Oh, dude, that was ugly. Yeah, I've never seen that out of Cooper.
And I think that was, like, a fourth down, wasn't it? Third down, fourth down? Like,
It was a major
drop.
play, for sure.
I can't remember which one exactly it was.
Yeah, like I said, he's played well. The Browns got to be happy. I'm sure they would have liked to have been at 500 at least when Watson comes back, but they're not completely out of the race. I think they are, but like mathematically they're not. Watson comes back, already been reinstated, already been added back to the roster, plays the Texans this week. So honestly, a good confidence builder. Get to go, shit on your old team. Probably get booed by the whole crowd because I want to say it's in Houston.
He's gonna have what, like 4 or 5 weeks? How many weeks are left? 4 or 5?
We're at week 12. There's 17, or week 13. There's 17 weeks. So, or there's 18 weeks. My bad. So like 5. I think he's gonna end up playing 5 games, 6 games.
That's what I'm saying. He's got like 5-6 games to shake some rust off.
Yeah.
Get back in the swing of playing football again, and
Get ready for next year.
yeah, basically find out is he a real deal quarterback or did he forget to play football in his time off? We'll have to find out.
I mean, all the off-season stuff aside, or off the field stuff aside, I'm really hoping as a fan of Watson and what he does on the football field, he comes out and plays decently, and lets people like. I don't think he's going to come out and throw MVP numbers in the last half of the season, but I hope he comes out and plays good and gets his confidence back and
It's
brings
also a
that
good
into next year.
good time too to get some chemistry with the team.
Absolutely.
I don't think he ever probably practiced enough, right?
Yeah, I think the past couple weeks he's been practicing, but I highly doubt they put him in with the ones just because Jacoby's actually playing, so you want him in with the ones to run a game plan and shit. So yeah, he probably hasn't
That's what I'm saying. He
practiced
probably
too
hasn't
much
like
with the team and the receivers and shit.
update on my fantasy score. It's now 117.96 to 117.3.
So JT got 3 more points?
Yeah, he got up to almost 100 yards. He's at 99.
Oh wow, yeah, it's looking good. I think. I don't think Fryermuth will do
Yeah,
much
if
more.
I could get it one more touchdown,
One more
I would probably
touchdown.
say it's done.
Yeah.
But or just a couple of receiving catches. But for whatever reason, Matt Ryan doesn't want to check it down.
Yeah, we'll see. Yeah.
Moving on to the Ravens and Jags game, though.
Dude.
Or do you have one more thing you want to say?
No, that was all I had to say. I was just gonna do the same thing you did.
Trevor Lawrence looked like a first overall pick. Played like a first overall pick. It looked good. I liked it. Went down the field, scored the touchdown, put the team up.
He had a good game, Nick. A really good game. But that last drive was great. Like that was special. You know what I mean? That's what you want to see out of a first overall draft pick.
Yeah, I agree. Like he looked really good. Like there's nothing you can really say bad about that. Like, that was a great game. I think he.
This was probably his best professional game. Maybe not necessarily stats wise, but I think like overall like gameplay, it was a really good game out of him.
I want to say where is he? I'm gonna pull his stats up.
I don't know what happened, Nick, but
Yeah, they changed his stats. I don't know,
it just
it's
changed his
negative
stats. I was literally I'm scoreboard watching with you.
Yeah. So Trevor Lawrence had 29 of 37, 321 yards, three touchdowns. Like that's a really good, solid numbers. Really good day on the.
It might be his
gridiron
best statistically too. There's something I want to just throw out there that it doesn't necessarily directly relate to this game, but I saw a video and it was talking about Trevor Lawrence, so I'm going to go ahead and throw it out there. But I think that, and I was reading some of the comments and some people were saying this, and it makes sense, and it's something that I feel like we forget about sometimes. I feel like the way fantasy has become such a big thing recently, and betting and sportsbook and all that stuff, that we sometimes forget that is separate from an actual gameplay. And sometimes I feel like Trevor Lawrence has been the best quarterback in his draft class. I feel like there's been moments where you can maybe say Fields or maybe last year, maybe say Mac Jones. But I feel like as a quarterback standpoint, like he didn't have a good season last year. Like I'll say that for sure. But I think coming into this year, like the way it's looked, I think he's been the best quarterback. Maybe not like, and I think people forget sometimes because he's only putting up 15 fantasy points a week or whatever it is. You know what I mean? And they think, oh, this guy fucking sucks. But I feel like if you actually watch some of the game and see the throws he's making and the drives he's making, like, does he make mistakes sometimes? Sure. But I think I guess my point is what I'm saying is we need to get better about separating fantasy from real life football. You know what I mean? Because I feel like a lot of people forget about that.
I just want to say too, Lamar, I don't know what the fuck, like, he's asking for like 240, 50, 30, whatever it is, million, like, ain't no way you can pay that guy that fucking money when he's barely even fucking doing anything out there, you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I mean,
like,
I'm a big Lamar fan, and it's tough, but he's definitely not performing for the money that he wants. And I think at this point, it looks like Harbaugh is done
lost
with
to a
him.
fucking 4-7 Jags team, like, or at the time, what was it, 3? They would have been at 3 wins.
Yeah, 3-7.
And you put up 254 yards, like, ain't good enough, bro.
And you're supposed to be a playoff caliber team, like.
That's what I'm saying,
I get it. I know everybody's making the arguments, saying he needs weapons. Like, I get it, but there's also quarterbacks out there that can make do without weapons. You know what I mean? So you got to figure it out if you want to be paid $230 million for a contract. You know what I mean?
Yeah, there's just no way you can justify paying him that kind of money.
I agree. And like I said, I'm getting this feeling, man, that like the Ravens are just done with him. Like, I don't know.
I mean, I wouldn't be shocked at all.
It's gonna be something to watch in the off season. Jags played a great game. Gutsy call at the end. I think it's a gutsy call, yes, but they're sitting at 3-7. They're like, fuck it, let's go for it. You know what I mean? The 2-point conversion at the end to win the game, like, I love it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I literally said that I was watching that at the end, and I told my dad, I was like, yeah, just fucking go for 2. Like, you need to. And then they ran the offense out there, and I was like, thank God. Big W out of the Jags.
I think like what you said, like you got nothing to lose. Like you're 3-7. Like
might as well
go for the win. Like what's it gonna matter?
Yeah.
You're not really playing for the playoffs anyway. Like.
Because it's gonna be so like lackluster if you tie it up with a field goal, go to overtime, Ravens fucking get the ball and score. Like, oh wow, we made that big drive to tie the game, and then bam, we lose. Now we're 3-8. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, no, I like it.
Yeah.
Kind of the same thing with the Chargers, which we'll talk about at the end of the year, or at the a little bit later. Next we got the Texans, Dolphins. Dolphins got out to a commanding 30-0 lead. Took the starters out. Offense didn't move the ball. Yeah, offense didn't move the ball. The 7th-string
quarterback. For all the people that say it's so easy to play with Tyreek and Waddle, it's literally just fucking pitch and throw and that's it. There you go.
Yeah.
Like, we've seen the numbers when Skylar Thompson goes in, and we've seen the numbers when Teddy goes in. Like,
yeah.
That's literally the offense. It's nothing special.
Yeah, there's definitely a difference when Tua's on the field. We've talked about it many times on this podcast. Texans tried to make a comeback. Again, this is like I've said before. We've talked about it before with other games. The Dolphins were just in the driver's seat this whole game.
They're just coasting. Like, it was 30
just coasting.
Like.
Yeah. I feel like it's kind of the same situation the Eagles get into some of these games. They're coasting. The score ends up a little close at the end, but they're just fucking coasting. Not much to say about that game. I think Tyreek had another, 85 yards, another solid game out of him. I meant to look yesterday, Nick. Let me look real quick.
Tua had 299 passing yards. Waddle had 85. Tyreek had 85.
Okay, so this is what I thought the case was.
But they both had... Waddle had some couple of drops, though.
Did he? Okay. So, I meant to pull this up yesterday, but I haven't pulled up now. So, we've talked on the show before, and we'll just briefly hit on it. And the only reason I bring it up is because I knew that they were going to be very close in numbers now after both of their games this week, just because I saw the numbers and I knew where they were at already. Tyreek's at 87 receptions with 1,233 yards with 4 tutties.
Yep.
Jefferson's 81 receptions, 1,232 yards, so 1 yard difference, and then 5 tutties. So they're both having fucking spectacular seasons, and it's nuts. I think, yeah. So with Jefferson had the big game on Thanksgiving. Tyreek still had a good game, 85 yards, nothing to be, you know what I mean, not writing home about or whatever, but like Jefferson's bigger game kind of helped him narrow down that deficit between the two, which it wasn't a major deficit, but he closed the gap on him. So that's going to be, like we talked about before, it's going to be a tight race for receiving yard leader at the end of the year between them two. And then we have, just to count out real quick, we had Stephon Diggs at 1,110. He's kind of close. And then Adams at 999, and then Waddle at 963. So that's your top 5 receiving leaders real quick that I just wanted to touch on. Next, we got the Bears at the Jets. The Mike White show. Dude threw for like 300 yards, had himself a day. They finally used Elijah Moore.
Bears were chalked, man.
Yeah, it's the Bears
Their
defense.
backup quarterback literally got hurt, literally in warm-ups. I don't know if you heard that.
Yeah, he hurt his quadricep or whatever, but they ended up playing anyways.
I thought Nathan Peterman played. Didn't he?
No.
Or he did play?
No, it was some weird shit that came out. So Simeon was going to be the backup, and then he got hurt and was going to be the starter. Then he got hurt in warm-ups,
and then he got hurt.
And then Nathan Peterman, they said, was going to be the guy, but then Trevor Simeon ended up coming in and playing. So,
I didn't
Simeon
really watch
started.
That, so.
Yeah, so they were just.
The only time I saw that game on Red Zone was when they were fucking scoring, and I was like, well. I saw Garrett Wilson just eating. I saw Elijah Mitchell eating.
Yeah, Wilson had 2 touchdowns, I think, like shit ton of yards. He had that one massive play where he made a couple people miss.
Like 30 yards or something. Yeah.
Yeah. This is what you want to see out of the Jets from a quarterback that can at least make some throws. You know what I mean? At least put the ball in the receiver's hands and let them make plays. You know what I mean?
I'll tell you right now, like we talked about before, there's no way you can put Zach Wilson in this lineup ever again. Simply because of the fact that he literally, like, players around the locker room and around the team look so much different when he's out now.
Yeah, I think
Like, I
that's
don't know if you saw that.
yeah,
But
that's
there's
the
literally like
biggest
people
thing.
that were literally like chanting when fucking Elijah Mitchell like scored and shit.
Yeah. I think it's just one of those things
There's
where
just no way you can ever go back to that.
it's not that Mike White is that much better than him, because I don't think that he is. I think it's just the culture that Zach Wilson brings about him when he's on the field. Just the team just like repulses him almost. You know what I mean? Like they don't want nothing to do with him. They hate him. He fucking sucks. Like
Repulses them.
no, it's what it feels like though. Like you said, the team just plays better and feels better and has a better energy.
I also think the fact that literally him saying that I didn't cost them was just
that was
fucking
bad.
disrespectful.
One piece of injury news that we didn't touch on, but Michael Carter was out of the game, I think, with like an ankle sprain.
Oh yeah,
I think they're saying he might miss some time. Another thing on this game when it comes to running backs, James Robinson was inactive in this game. He didn't even dress out. So don't know what's going on there. I don't know if they're not wanting to play him so they don't have to give up a 4th round instead of a 5th round or whatever it was. Which I wouldn't be surprised at this point. It's the NFL. But I feel like if Michael Carter's out, Robinson has to be the guy. I know a lot of Jets fans are saying he hasn't been explosive. He's been dealing with an ankle injury. He hasn't been good. But if you look at the last 3-4 weeks that they played when he's been there, the whole running game as a whole hasn't been good. So it's not just him. It's not like Michael Carter's coming in and getting 70 yards a game and Robinson's getting some touches and getting 2 yards a game. Like, Robinson's barely getting the ball. So, I mean, maybe with Michael Carter out, he'll get fed and do some damage. Or who knows, maybe they just skip him all together and go to the 3rd string.
That sounds, I don't know.
Yeah, I didn't realize that until after, like, the games. I was looking at my lineup and I saw Robinson and he had like an out next to him, and I was like, what the fuck? Like, what happened? And then I read that, and I was like, interesting. Next game, we had the Bengals and the Titans, the rematch of the playoff game. This was a dogfight at the end of the day. Like, Bengals played well. They stopped Derrick Henry. I think he had like 39 yards or some shit on 17 carries. He had that one big reception for like 80 yards, I think it was, or 60 yards, and then fumbled the ball as he's about to be at the end zone. Ball falls into the end zone. Treylon Burks recovers it in the end zone for a touchdown. So, as a Derrick Henry owner in fantasy, that fucking sucked, but he still had himself a day, as like fantasy-wise.
I'm not gonna lie, that shit was so funny.
Oh,
I
bro.
was watching it with Janine, and she was like, oh my god, yes, yes. And then the ball came out, and I was like, no shot.
Yeah.
Like, no fucking
What's funny is
shot.
I saw the dude running up, and I was like, because you know sometimes you could see the guy running up, chasing him down, and you're like, this isn't going to be good. Because the Henry's running. He ain't got eyes in the back of his head, you know what I mean? He should have protected the ball better, but still ended up working out. He got the 6 on it. But Treylon Burks, again, had a day. I think he had 60 yards, or pretty solid day. Looks like he's starting to find his rhythm as a rookie after being healthy now a couple weeks. The Bengals sitting at 7-4 now. They beat the Titans again. Starting to think they own the Titans at this point. Joey B had a solid day. Higgins had a touchdown. Just a good win out of the Bengals, in my opinion. The Titans, I think, are still a good football team. But I think they just, if they're, again, kind of, I think they're a little more dynamic than the Giants, right? But kind of the same scenario. If Derrick Henry kind of gets shut down, it seems like they're kind of a one-man show at that point. I think they can score other ways, but they prefer to score and move the ball with Derrick Henry.
Yeah, I agree. I think the Titans just gotta... They've always kind of been that one-dimensional, though. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
That's why the hope was that Tannehill could fucking change it, but...
And he has a bit.
Just...
I think it's a lot better than they were, but...
Yeah, it's just... It's not as good as it could be. Can you imagine him with, like, someone that's actually, like, elite? You know what I mean?
Oh, that'd be nuts.
Like...
Like a good a good mobile quarterback tandem with fucking Derrick Henry. And then if Treylon Burks becomes like that guy that they want him to be, like, yeah, it could definitely be something. I think that the difference too, like the Titans, I feel like they're a really good playoff team. I don't think they're necessarily the greatest team out there.
Yeah.
But when it comes playoff time, their defense steps
I get what you're
up.
saying, yeah.
They
Their
run
defense
the ball.
is good enough. They run the ball. They pound the ball. That's.
So
I can see that.
That's why I don't like to count them out in the playoffs just because they have that style of gameplay. But yeah, no, I mean, I still think two good teams right there. It was a good game, good dogfight. You know what I mean? Next we got the Falcons at the Commanders. Commanders are 7-5, Nick.
Yeah, Commanders. I think the Commanders have the best record. I forget what it was, but like in the last like couple of games, like they're 6-1. Whatever the stat was. It was like best record since like whatever week it was, like maybe week 5, week 6, whatever it is, or some shit.
It's definitely got to be up there because if you think about the Vikings, the Chiefs,
because
they're
6-1. Dolphins are like 5-1. I think the Chiefs are 5-1. Like all these other teams are like 5-1, and then the Chiefs were, the Commanders were like 6-1. Like 6-1 or 7-1, something like that. Like they're looking good.
Yeah, they're
bringing it back.
Again, kind of same situation with Zach Wilson. But opposite, they just play so much better when Heineke's in there.
Oh, sorry, real quick. I forgot. I like this tweet because I wanted to talk about it. This was going back to the Jets one, but remember I was telling you about like the teammates were chanting. Yeah. It says right here, Elijah Mitchell meets with the media as his teammates yell, "Free that man, free E," and the E's free. Like, like you tell me, like, there's just no way.
That's actually hilarious. You're down 5 points now, by the way, Nick.
Yeah, I saw that. But yeah, I don't know. The Commanders look good. I don't know. Elijah. Sorry, I was gonna say Elijah, but what's his name? Brian Robinson. What's his name? Brian Robinson Jr. He had a good day.
He had a good day.
He had like I think he had almost. Did he have 100 yards? I can't remember. He was like 99 for the longest time.
Yeah, he was definitely up there.
Let's see. He had 105 at the end of the day. So there you go. Nice. He got it going. Heineke again. Heineke is almost the same as what was the other quarterback we're talking about? As Mike White.
Yeah.
Like he doesn't necessarily have all that good of a like skill or whatever, but he ignites the team. The team plays different when he's in. Like I don't know, he's just kind of like the Fitz magic. You know what I mean? Like they just come in and they may not be the best, but for whatever reason the team rallies around it. I don't know why. Don't know why that is, how that is, but that's just what happens.
Yeah, I agree.
But yeah, shout out Robinson had his good first game.
This is big for the Commanders. I mean, they're keeping in the playoff race. The way I think right now they're in a playoff spot in the NFC. So at this rate, we might have 4 NFC East teams in the playoffs. So I think it's unlikely that it happens, but they're definitely playing good ball right now. Falcons.
As of right now, the Commanders are the 7th seed.
7th seed, okay. That's what I thought.
So they would be the last team in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Right behind them is the Seahawks at 6-5 and the Falcons at 5-7.
Wait, that's crazy. The Seahawks are out of the playoff race, or not the playoff race, but wouldn't be in right now. They've had a couple bad losses recently. Let's see. Next, we got the Chargers and the Cardinals. The Cardinals, man, like they have moments they look good. It's the same thing we talk about every week, Nick. I think
Kyler Murray, man.
I don't know if it's fucking Kyler Murray. I don't know if it's Cliff Kingsbury at this point. Like a lot of people
Kyler Murray for what he said though.
Oh no, 100%. You can't be saying that. Yeah.
Like throwing your coach under the bus. Like, get the fuck out of here. Take some accountability.
I agree completely, but I do think something's got to give, whether it's Murray or Kingsbury. But I don't know. That team just is
I already know it's going to be
much,
Cliff Kingsbury. He paid all the money to fucking Murray. You can't get rid of him.
That team is underperforming a lot. Chargers drove down, scored, went for the 2-point conversion like the Jags did. Little more gutsy in my opinion because they were sitting at 5-5. But again, you kind of got to do this every now and again to win some games, get a little cheeky W on the board. when you're sitting at 5-5 because you need to. If you want to make the playoffs, you got to come up quick. You know what I mean? Because there's good teams like the Bengals and the Ravens that are going to be fighting for a playoff spot.
I mean, even the Patriots are fighting right now.
Even the Patriots, the Titans, the Dolphins, the Bills, the Jets. Like, so you're going to have to deal with the Jets. You're going to have to deal with the Bengals.
The thing is the AFC is so hard because you're dealing with the AFC East. Because one of these teams is not going to make it in. It's the same thing with the NFC East.
Yeah, no, 100%.
Because they're playing so good that, like, one of these teams is trying to get in as well. And it's like, one of them is going to, like, two of them are going to probably make it for sure. But the other two are literally fighting you.
Yeah.
Like,
and each other because they have to play each other too. So
yeah,
it's
like, that's what I'm saying. Like, because whether or not the Bills, the Dolphins, or the Jets win the division, well, then you're now playing against all those other teams that didn't make it.
And if you're the Chargers, you need to realize that you really can't lose any more games if you want to make the playoffs.
That's what I'm saying. You're not going to win your division. You play against the Chiefs. So that's already one route to the playoffs done. Cut that off. Now you got to fucking play for the 3 wildcard spots. Well, guess what? The Dolphins, the Jets, and the Patriots are playing for those too.
Technically, the Dolphins are in first place, so it would be the Bills, Jets, and Patriots. And
that's what I'm saying. Like these teams are all
8-3,
playing.
7-4, and 6-5. Come on, man. You gotta keep winning.
It's tough. Like, and it's not coming. Like I said, it's coming down to the wire because like these games are all gonna start mattering. Like, you lose one game, that's probably gonna cost you huge.
Yeah.
Like,
if you're any of those teams and you have any hope to make it in, you just gotta win out at this point. That way you don't put the fucking fate in anybody else's hands. It's all up to you.
Yep.
Next we had the Raiders and the Seahawks in overtime. This was an eventful game. A lot of shit happened. The boy Kenneth Walker had 2 touchdowns again. Didn't run the ball very well.
I'll tell you this right now.
What?
Josh Jacobs, free agent. They declined his tag or his option.
5th-year option, yeah.
Wow, is that guy gonna get paid a bag?
303 scrimmage yards, Nick.
Like, Jesus. Someone's gonna go, fuck it, I'll pay the running back.
He is having a year, and he is having a year at the right time.
There's just no way you don't pay him. Like, you have to pay him.
At this point, there's just no way the Raiders let him go, right?
I mean, yeah, that too. It honestly kind of speaks volumes about John Gruden, though, because he was not really that guy, per se. You know what I mean? Like, he had his moments, but there were times where it's like he didn't really do a whole lot.
Who, Jacobs?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And, like, I remember, too, because that was the year I drafted him, and I was like, okay, like, I'm not, like, he's a starting running back, but I'm not, like, too sure, like, what to expect of him.
Yeah.
But they just would not give him the fucking ball, it seemed like.
Oh, no.
And, like, now that they got rid of John Gruden, now it's like, yeah, like, they're not actually fucking feeding him the ball, and he's actually running it and catching it, and, like, he's doing everything that he should have been doing in the first place. So I don't know if that's John Gruden's problem or what, but it's good to see him actually getting his yards now and his touches. Because, my God, is he fucking feasting.
Yeah. I will say, we've said it before, the Raiders are better than their record actually is. They've had 2 good wins the past 2 weeks in overtime. The Devontae Adams catch last week. The Josh Jacobs run this week. So they're starting to figure it out. Like, I know it's probably too late for them at this point in the season, just because of same reasons we talked about with the Chargers. But if they can get it figured out and have something to grow on the next season, add even more pieces, maybe re-sign Jacobs, they're sitting in a good spot, in my opinion. Like, they're starting to win some ball games. And their defense actually showed up because, like I was saying earlier, like, Kenneth Walker had 2 touchdowns, yes. And they were 2 actually nice touchdown runs. They were like a 14-yard and a 12-yard touchdown run, I think, but he worked for him. But other than that, the dude didn't run the ball very well because the Raiders' defense was shutting them the fuck down trying to run the ball. So it forced the Seahawks to kind of go to the air. They still stayed in it. I think the Raiders need a lot more help on defense overall, but their defense is starting to play a little bit better. Granted, they still gave up 34 points, but they're getting better. Next, we have the Rams and the Chiefs. Rams dog shit. Chiefs won this. We knew it. They had like their 3rd string quarterback in, I think. Like we talked about before, I wouldn't be surprised them sitting at 3-8 that they just don't say, Matt, just take the year off, dude. No need in getting yourself fucking injured.
It's the Chiefs,
because
man. They dominated. It is what it is.
Next, we got Saints 49ers, kind of the same situation. I said it before.
Kind of surprised that they only put up 13 points, man.
I'm very surprised at only 13, but the Saints do have that defense. And again, like we talked about last episode, some teams match up better against other teams. I think the Saints defense just matched up decently against the 49ers offense. But yeah, no, definitely surprised at 13 points.
I don't know, dude. You got fucking Debo Samuel, Brandon Ayuk, George Kittle, Christian McCaffrey. You did have Elijah Mitchell, obviously went out.
Yeah.
And then, like, that's a star-studded cast. Like, you got to put up fucking 30 every week, pretty much.
100%.
Like, I don't know. That's just my opinion.
I think the Saints need to put in Jameis Winston. I think they're just... I don't think either of them are necessarily the guys, but I think their team looks better with Jameis Winston. At this point, I don't know if I would, though. Might as well fucking tank. Oh, they don't even have a first-round draft pick. Never mind. Put Jameis in. You don't want the Eagles to get a good draft pick.
I said never mind.
Yeah.
Call the tank off.
Call the tank off. Abort mission. Next, we had a Sunday night game that was very good. Did you watch this game, Nick?
Nope.
Unfortunate. You missed a good one. Game started off 13-0. Eagles got the ball first, went down and scored. Touchdown. First drive for the Packers. Aaron Rodgers throws a pick. They end up scoring again, missed extra point, scores 13-0. Packers go down, score 13-7. Eagles, I think, ended up going for it on fourth down. Got stopped on the quarterback sneak, which has only happened like twice this year for them. Packers went down and scored, made it 14-13. It was just a back and forth game until the halftime. Eagles went up 27-20 on the Packers. Packers came out, got the ball first, didn't score. Eagles went down and scored again, so it made it 34-20. And then again, like we talked about earlier, at that point the Eagles are kind of just coasting. It was like late third quarter, early fourth. Aaron Rodgers ended up coming out the game. Love came in, scored a couple touchdowns, made it close at the end. But again, the Eagles were kind of in control the whole time, just coasting, trying to get out the ball game. Jalen Hurts had 150-something passing yards, and then 150-something rushing yards. Dude had 100 rushing yards in the first quarter. I really thought he was going to break Justin Fields' record that Justin Fields set like 2 weeks ago. But after like the third quarter, he didn't really run the ball much because, again, they were kind of just coasting. He didn't really have to do much. Would have liked to see him break the record. That would have been cool, but it is what it is. Eagles first team to 10. Packers suck. It is what it is.
All right.
And we got the Steelers-Colts game going on right now, which we'll just update you the score. What is the score, Nick? I don't even know.
24-17.
Colts?
Steelers got the ball second for Steelers. Steelers got the ball right now. Trying to put up another touchdown.
Gotcha. So it looks like, I think we both picked the Colts. Steelers looks like they might take this one away. We'll see. But yeah, that's going to wrap
A little
up.
close, but yeah.
It's going to wrap up Week 12 recap. We'll go ahead and get into Week 13 predictions.
Just run these predictions. Let's go.
Yeah, just a real quick update. These are the scores now. I'm at 110 wins. Nick's at 104. I'm 6 games up now, just for anybody caring about those. I'm caring about it because I came back from the fucking dead. But let's see. So we got Thursday night game. We got the Bills, the Patriots.
I'm on Bills.
I'm going Bills too. This might be a good one though. If the Patriots play the way they did play, and then the Bills have been struggling, so we'll see. But I'm taking the Bills as well.
I hope it's a good game, man. I need a good primetime game.
Yeah, I hear you. Yeah, you should have watched last night's, dude. It was a good one.
Yeah.
Next we got the Steelers at the Falcons. Fuck, man. I'm gonna take the Falcons.
I'm gonna go Steelers on this one. I like the Steelers defense.
Yeah, that's not a bad pick. Broncos.
Awesome pick though.
Yeah, no, for sure. Broncos, Ravens, taking the Ravens.
Ravens.
Yeah.
I was taking whatever team wasn't the Broncos.
Yeah.
I'll never bet on Russ again.
I hear you.
Done.
Packers, Bears.
Is Justin Fields playing? I don't know.
Rodgers owns the Bears, but is Rodgers playing? I want to take the
playing?
Bears, but
Who's
is Fields playing?
That's what I'm saying. Who's playing? Is it Jordan Love versus fucking Simeon or Fields versus Love?
Okay, hear me out, Nick. We don't pick this game. We wait till later in the week.
No, I'll pick.
I wanted some clarity on the situation,
I'm
man.
going Packers. I feel like if Love plays, they probably win. If Rodgers plays, they probably win.
I'm going Packers too because the Bears are just lacking so much. They've had their moments this year. I'll give them that. But next we have the Jaguars Lions, which I think is going to be a really good game.
I'm going Jags.
I'm going Jags as well.
Probably gonna go with the bite your kneecaps off.
No. Alright, I got a bet on my boy Travis Etienne. And I've been a fan of Trevor Lawrence, so I'm going to go Jags here. I think it's going to be a good game, though, like I said. Browns and the Texans. I'm taking the Browns. Watson's back, playing the Texans. Like I said, good confidence game for him.
Sounds like a trolley pick, but I was thinking about taking the Texans, I'm not gonna lie.
I actually was expecting that out of you.
The only reason why I'm thinking about it, I'm taking the Browns, but the only reason why I was thinking about it is because, like, you practice against them, you gotta know what he's good at and bad at, right?
The only argument I will have for that is this is not the same Texans team last year or the year before. So I think there's literally only.
Doesn't even fucking play.
That's what I'm saying. I think there's only 2 or 3 people on that team that he's actually played with. So I think that argument would be invalid.
I hear you.
Just because they've turned over so many people on that roster. I don't even know who's on the fucking team at this point anymore, dude, to be honest.
They're gonna sign back JJ. He's gonna get cut.
Yeah, right. Imagine. Taking the Browns, though. Next, we got Jets and Vikings. Could be a good game, too. I'm taking the Vikings. It's noon Kirk Cousins.
Vikings.
Dude's going to fucking ball.
Noon Kirk Cousins versus noon fucking Mike
White. Yeah, I don't know. Commanders at the Giants.
I'm going Giants.
I'm taking the Commanders. They've been playing hot. Sorry, Janine. She's going to hate me for it, but... Next, we got Titans at the Eagles. Again, another good game.
I'm going Titans.
I'm going to take the Eagles for sure.
I think Derrick Henry shows up.
But I was about to say, there's something... So, I've watched literally like every Eagles game this year. And it's so hard to watch when they're on defense because literally every time the opposing team runs the football, they're getting like 5 yards a carry, Nick. So I'm just picturing Derrick Henry rushing for 250 yards against that defense. But I think with that being said, I think the Eagles' offense is very capable of a shootout and winning that. So I think the Eagles take this.
I'll tell you what, brother. It is 4 minutes to go in this game. I'm down 4 points.
4 minutes.
Colts just got the ball back.
Are you going to get a game-winning drive out of Jonathan Taylor?
I hope so.
Holy
get
shit.
Get some
receptions? Yeah. All he needs is like 2 catches and 20 yards, dude, and you win.
I'm saying. And then the time runs out.
Yeah, you're chilling.
That'd be a cheeky win.
Oh, it'd be so sick, though, wouldn't it? Next we got the Seahawks and the Rams. Going Seahawks, yep. Dolphins, 49ers. This is going to be... Dude, Nick... There's a lot of good games.
I can't believe this isn't flex, but it's because, like, the Cowboys are playing.
Yeah, and we know how you would think it would be flex, though, because the Cowboys are playing the fucking Colts. Be different if the Cowboys were playing, like, the Commanders or somebody, right? But the Colts...
Dolphins.
Yeah, I'm going Dolphins.
Should be a good game. I feel like it's going to be a game that people are probably going to want to watch because, again, it's a former coach, OC going against his head coach.
And both these teams are playing great football.
Similar teams, so.
I tell you what, Nick, this 3 o'clock slate is going to be fucking something different. I mean, I think the Seahawks blow out the Rams. I think the Dolphins 49ers going to be good. Chiefs Bengals should be good. This Chargers Raider game should be good too. You know what I mean? Like.
Wait, you picked the 49ers, right?
No, I picked the Dolphins.
Oh, okay.
I'm riding the Dolphins, bro. They're playing great.
All right. So you got Dolphins. I got Chiefs. So you got Chiefs Bengals.
I tell you what, Nick.
You going Bengals?
I know
Alright, so B?
I know there's a lot of history between these two teams in the recent year, and I tell you what, Joey B owns fucking Patrick Mahomes. Give me the fucking Bengals, son. Bengals win this game. Again, Patrick Mahomes can't beat the Bengals. Chargers Raiders. I'm taking the Raiders.
Taking the Chargers.
I think they're riding really
I'll take
high.
the Raiders, but
This is definitely a
I'm gonna
toss-up
take
for me.
This is a toss-up, yeah. I think it's gonna be a close game, but I'm gonna go Chargers.
Yeah. Colts Cowboys. I'm going Cowboys.
Going Cowboys as well.
Monday night we got a
I'm gonna
division
go
matchup.
Bucks.
Saints Bucks. I'm going Bucks. That division is ugly, by the way. They're all fucking under 500. Before we wrap up this episode, I just want to run back through these games real quick because I think this is going to be a very exciting week of football. At least on paper, it looks like it. Again, I'm going to go through the good games I think are going to be good. Bills Patriots should be a good game, division matchup. Both teams playing pretty decent right now. I think as well this Jags Lions game is going to be a kind of a slept on game that's going to be good. Both these teams are kind of fighting for their lives. They're playing good football. I think it's going to be a good game. I think the Browns and Texans will be just because there's a lot of hype with Watson being back. Him going against his former team. So there's a little underlying story there for that. So in that sense, I think it's going to be a good game. Probably not so much like score-wise and all that, but for the storyline. Next, Jets-Vikings, going to be a good game, I think. I think the Vikings win this for sure, but I still think it's going to be good. Commanders-Giants going to be good as well. Titans-Eagles, Dolphins-49ers, Chiefs-Bengals. The Chargers-Raiders is going to be good too. This whole slate of games, Nick, is going to be a really good week of football. Or am I just overreacting on it?
No, I agree. I think it's gonna be a good week of football. There's a lot of good games. A lot of good games that come up here.
Yeah, it's got me excited.
Again, a lot of playoff implications, so everyone's got to win pretty much. Nobody's locked into the playoffs. I don't even think the Eagles are locked in yet, are they?
No, I really feel like well,
that's what I'm saying. Like,
you would
nobody's
think
locked
if they,
in, so it's
nobody's locked in. Yeah.
Obviously, they're probably not gonna miss it, but that's what I'm saying. Like, every game matters. Like, until you start locking in playoffs. Like,
I was just gonna say, I think if they win this week, I feel like with how weak that division is, I think they get a playoff spot. Like it's locked in after this week. I would think. I haven't looked into that though. Yeah, no, for sure. All right, I think that is going to wrap up Week 13 predictions, and it's going to wrap up this episode. Me and Nick we talked about earlier before the podcast, we're going to try to make these a little quicker because it's kind of later in the season. We've been talking about the same things here and there about these teams, and we're trying not to do that too much just so episodes don't drag on. I'm sure we'll have some longers than others for whatever reasons, but yeah, so...
you know the teams, we know the teams.
Yeah, we know what to expect at this point.
Once something crazy happens in that game, there's no point in talking about the same shit over and over.
Yeah, no, 100%. That being said, we appreciate y'all. I hope y'all enjoyed this video. I hope y'all...
Subscribe, like the video, comment, say something.
Yeah. Hope y'all enjoyed.
Leave any predictions, any potential questions or anything like that.
Yeah. That's all I got. Just let's enjoy this week of football. Hopefully it's a good one. Nick, you got any last words? Are you good?
Shout out to the fans. Shout out Janine.
Yes, sir.
Shout out the Dolphins. Let's go.
My fucking Dolphins. All right, y'all. Y'all have a good week. We appreciate y'all. We love y'all. Peace.